Hey guys, I just watched a video a little while ago about two young missionaries. They had heard that this plantation owner on an island in the Atlantic had 2,000 to 3,000 slaves that he absolutely refused to let the gospel touch. He refused to let any Christians onto his island. And these two young Moravians, these missionaries, did what they had to do to bring the gospel. This plantation owner wasn't about to let them just show up and start preaching. They had to sell themselves into slavery, and they were willing to give away their lives, their hopes of a family, of a future, and all the rest of it. They let it all go, sold themselves as slaves, and even the cash they got for selling themselves, they had to use to pay for the journey over. The old man wasn't even willing to pay for their transport. So, as the family was seeing these two young fellows off, they were standing on the ship waving, and the one called out to his loved ones, "Worthy is the Lamb to receive the reward of his suffering." Those words just floor me. Just floor me. They're my favorite words. His focus wasn't on his mission, his ministry, his will, his goals, his plan. It was all about Jesus, all about the Lamb. The Lamb is worthy to receive the reward of his suffering. Now, that isn't the only remarkable Christian story that I've heard recently. This East Indian missionary traveled to all the villages in his area with gospel tracts, knocking on doors daily, talking to people, sharing his faith. And this went on for 2 years, being rejected by everyone who heard him. He would fast for 30 days at a time, and in his weakened state go to get more gospel tracts from the mission and lug them across miles of open range back to his village, and the whole time relying on the Lord to provide his needs. And after 2 years of faithful obedience and toiling and suffering, he began to minister to the children, and they accepted him. And then the children told their parents about this loving man, and their parents began to accept him. And now there are churches being planted in those villages. The Lord has opened up the floodgates, and the work is being done. I think about William Booth pacing the floor like a caged lion, knowing that somewhere out there some wretched soul was chained in bondage and had no understanding, no saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. And he couldn't sit still knowing that. When I hear these great people of God, I am inflamed in my soul to be like them. And one thing that the Lord is showing me is that, they're no different and certainly no better than you and I. There isn't a superhuman. Or as Nietzsche would say, an Übermensch. There's no such thing as the super Christian. We're all the same fallen carnal men. What we're seeing in these Moravian missionaries, in this East Indian mission, in William Booth, in John Wesley and John Knox and Paul Washer and Leonard Ravenhill, we are seeing the power of God. And it's the power of God we're being drawn to. And it's the power of God that quickens our spirits and makes us rejoice. And sometimes we kind of accidentally connect that to the man as the character of the man or something about the man. But frankly, it's the same God in every circumstance. And this is the encouragement I want to share with you, is that same God has power for you, for your fallen life, for your reprobate life. The power of God is available as well. And God wants to use you for great things. It's just a matter of submitting. As Paul warned Timothy, in the last days they will look like Christians, but they will deny the power. And we got to be so careful in this day and age not to deny the power. In our culture, it's very normal to try and rationalize and understand everything and work everything out and get a good, firm comprehension of the subject. But that's kind of putting the cart before the horse in the case of the Lord, because we're never going to fully understand everything. He wants us to step out in obedience and to walk in obedience and to look for the power to enable us to do the things that we could never do. So I hope this is an encouragement to you, that there is a great greatness that is available to you as well. And it's not for personal gain. It's not for selfish reasons. If you're trying to build a ministry for you, an empire for you, then frankly, I don't think you deserve a blessing from God. But the power of God is available. And I want to encourage you to seek after that. God bless you.